Hey guys, I'm here with my first impressions of the Anastasia self-made palette. So I'm just going to quickly show you some of the other stuff I got with my order. I also got this sample of Giorgio Armani. It's called C, as in yes in Spanish. I need to misplace the other sample, so it doesn't even matter. But I did want to talk about quickly this Burberry Fresh Glow Luminous fluid. I guess you put it underneath like your foundation, or you can put it to the naked skin. I don't know if it would work for black people or women of color, but I'm gonna try it anyways one day. So yeah, it's from Burberry. 100 points, I got this mascara. It's the YSL, the Yves Saint Laurent. I just love saying Yves Saint Laurent. I don't know why, but it looks like this. I did try this out, and I'm going to, if I make it in time, because I'm not recording for a while, but after this month I'm going to stop recording for a while. But I am going to, if I can get this video in by this month, which is over Tuesday, but yeah, if I can get this video, I'm going to do a comparison of 3 high-end Benefits They're Real, the YSL, actually 4, the Benefits They're Real, YSL, It Cosmetics, and the Smashbox. So I want to do a comparison of all 4 of those mascaras to see which one I would actually buy full price. So I'm familiar with what this box looks like. It's okay. I don't really like the design of the box for some reason. I don't know, the color is off or something. I don't know. It's not really. Here is the palette in itself. I do like the palette. It's made like of jeans, so I do like the way that feels. Let me peel this off. Yeah, I do like the way it feels. As far as that, it's still your cardboard box palette as usual. And here are the shades. In this palette you have 1, 2, 3, you have 7 shades at the top and 7 at the bottom, so you have 14 shades, which is not the normal palette. You only have 12, and this one you have 14. So looking at these palettes, I have the other palette as well. Let's see, looking at these palettes, I want to see if any of the colors are the same. So I have 3 Anastasia palettes, which is the Artist palette, and then of course I have the World Travelers palette, and then now I have the Self-Made palette. And I think I'm going to be done with Anastasia for a little while, because I bought all 3 of these palettes within 2 months, and I purchased 6 or 7 palettes within the last 60 days. So I think I'm going to be done with purchasing palettes for a while as well. Alright, so I think these other ones was only 30 bucks. This one was 35. But the thing about them is, if you take a look, let's just compare the World Travelers to this one. There are bigger, these are bigger hands, and these are smaller, you can see. So you get more of them, different shades, but you get less product. The Artist palette, you have that same color right here, which is buttery. You have that over here as well. 3, I want to say 3. Yeah, you have like 3 flat out, and then I'll come back and talk to you quickly about what I think about it. Oh, also another color that is in the other palette is this Pink Champagne. That one is also in the World Travelers palette. So let's go ahead and just quickly swatch these. I'm going to start with Pink Champagne. Gonna go with Metallic Plum, which I have on my eyes today. And if you want to see this look, just stick around towards the end of the video. I also have Self-Made right here, and Witchy. So that's what they look like on my fingers. Excuse my nails. So I'm just gonna swatch them out here. That's the Pink Champagne, Metallic Plum. Don't remember what that color was. So that was Self-Made, and Witchy, which is like a nice, I want to say gray. Yeah. So we have like a metallic pink. We have like a little burgundy. We have like, well, a plumish color, and then we have this golden color, and then we have a gray color. So I'm gonna go and swatch the color Blush, which is like a silver gray. Blossom, just like a pink, and of course Buttery. And then yeah, I'll come back and swatch the bottom. So we have those 3, and I'm just gonna swatch them out on my arm. So that's what those 3 swatch out like. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the color Deep Purple. Then I'm gonna take Treasure, which I do like that color, and Hot and Cold, and Sherbet. And that's what those swatch like on my fingers. And then I'm just going to swatch them out on my hand. Or arm, rather. So next I'm going to take the last three, which is going to be Isla. I'm going to take Spirit Rock, which has these shimmers in it, like pink shimmers. And then I'm going to lastly take Hot Chocolate. So just to give you a close-up of those colors. So here's the last three, what they swatch like on my fingers. Then I'm just gonna swatch them out on my arm. I really bought this palette for that color, Isla. I love that color. Let me quickly talk about this palette and what I think about it. When at first people were just blowing this palette up and saying how beautiful it was. I do believe that all these colors are gorgeous. With the exception of Witchy, I really don't know what I would do with that color. And Blush, I don't even know what that is. It's very powdery. The color is very, very, very powdery. I don't even know what color that is. That's like, I don't know. It looks gray in the pan, but when I just swatched it out, it kind of was like it has some pink to it. Like, I don't know. Does that look kind of pink to you? I don't know. So maybe I'll have to work with that one. I believe these are very, 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 very powdery. But when you actually start to use them, they become buttery, if you know what I mean. They're very powdery, very buttery. The colors are nice. What I do love about it is that you have this wide range of colors. Especially the color Isla. That's something I haven't seen in a lot of palettes. The color Self-Made is very pretty. That metallic plum I really love. And of course Pink Champagne is always my favorite. This deep purple is very nice. I did work with that purple. I am very, 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 very glad that they have a pink in here, because a lot of palettes haven't been having pink in it, and I love pink. So I can work with that Blossom and Pink Champagne together. Spirit Rock is very cool. I went and applied this on my eyes as well. A lot of people were saying that the glitters in it did stay, but I don't find that to be true. When I used the palette, the glitter, it didn't, there was no sparkle. The black just stayed black. All in all, I like this palette. I don't like it better than the World Travelers. I like it better than the World Travelers palette. I feel like the World Travelers palette has these four nice shades right here that you can help transition the rest of them. I feel like, especially with Morocco and Fudge being in there, I feel like they're a lot warmer. This one is warm, but it's more cool to me, not as warm. I do really like it, but not as much as I like the World Traveler. I like that the World Traveler palette has basically a nice black matte in it. This one has a black in it, and it's sort of matte, but it has a lot of flecks in it. And I feel as though you won't be able to just work with this palette by yourself. You will have to still drag in other colors from another palette, as you'll see in the makeup look that I'm going to do for you guys after this video, after this impressions. I just feel like you have so much of a range, a better range with this one. And even the Artist palette, I feel like you can get a lot of use out of this palette as well, even now, because the Dusty Rose and also Aubergine and Baby I'm a Star and Cold, all those colors are just easy to work with. I feel like this is a really pretty palette, but it's a lot shimmery, and I love shimmer shadows. And they're not chunky glitter. I do love the fact that they're not chunky glitter, because with my Vices, the glitter just all over the place, okay? I do like this palette. However, I don't feel like it's a palette that you're going to be able to make a bunch of looks from without dragging in another palette. So that's pretty much my first impressions on it. I have to work with it a little bit more, but as far as using all shimmers, that just doesn't go well when you're trying to like transition colors and you're trying to you really want one color to stand out more than the other. You really go into a palette and be like, okay, I'm wearing this, so today this color is going to be this, and then I'm going to work everything else around my lid colors, or however you decide. But generally, That's what I do. I pick a color that's gonna go on my lid, and then I'm like, I'm gonna work every other color around it. So yeah, so I like the palette. I haven't really had a chance to really play with it too much, so that's why I'm going to come back with my final impressions on this palette. And I'm gonna work with this palette all week like I do every new palette that I have. I work on it for the entire week. And yeah, so that is my first impressions on the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and I'll talk to you guys. Because there isn't many mattes in this palette, I'm gonna take the Anastasia their World Travelers palette, and I'm gonna take that color Morocco out of there just to transition with, because there isn't a transition color that I want to use that's not sparkly in the Self-Made palette. So I'm gonna start with the Morocco, and I'm gonna use a Morphe brush. Don't know the numbers of them, never do, just order them. But it's a blending brush. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use a using a color Buttery that's inside of the Self-Made palette. It's also inside of the other palettes. I'm going to just go ahead and put that as my brow highlighter. The next brush I'm going to take is a Luxe brush, and I'm going to take the color Metallic Rum, which is right there. It's Metallic Rum. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work the outside like this. Excuse my lash, it got a little clumped up. It's an individual lash. And someone asked me to do a tutorial on individual lashes. I'm just not really learning myself. But if I continue to do YouTube videos, I sure will get that out. So I'm going to continue to go outside like that. And then I'm going to take the same color, same brush, and I'm going to go inside. So I'm going to work that and leave that center open. So I'm just going to do that outside and then in the inside. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. With my finger, I'm going to take the color Self-Made, which is this nice golden color here. And I'm just going to dab that right in the center where we left that open. So we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that to the other side. You have to excuse my nails. It's time for me to fill them in, but I decided to just take them off, and because I want them longer. So I cut them down because they were in a coffin shape, and the only way to get them square was to cut them really short. Lastly, well, not lastly, I think we got to do a little highlighting in the inner corner, but taking my favorite brush from Anastasia that came in the World Travelers palette, I'm going to take this color Hot Chocolate, and I'm just going to focus that like right on the outer corner right here. And I just like to punch it like that and just kind of slowly bring it up. Just a little bit. Taking the color Treasure from out of the palette, which is right there. It looks like it appears to be white, but I believe it's kind of like, not metallic, but sort of shimmery. So I'm just gonna put that in the inner corner. And that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and line my eyes, and then I'll meet you back.